know what time it is, baby. Yo, what's up, Eagles Nation? What's up, Sports Nation? It's your boy, Cool Eagle, back here with another video. Just want to come talk to you guys because, whoa, do we have a lot going on this weekend. If you're in Texas, you're happy about them Texas Rangers. I'm not really into baseball, never really, got the hype behind it, even though I have been to a couple of baseball games, but it's just like I personally don't have the patience for it. Like you're going to the 8th inning, 2.5 hours into the game, and you're just drunk, and somebody finally scores. Like with a football game, at least you're just there for like 3 hours, and something is going to happen. But congratulations to the Texas Rangers and their fans. I know the parade was nice. It's actually right on the other side of town where I am, so traffic was hella crazy. But today's content, we're going over two legends in the Dallas Cowboys in Philadelphia Eagles community as they talk about this epic showdown on Sunday between my 7-1 Philadelphia Eagles and the 5-2 Dallas Cowboys. Yeah, right. So again, give a like, subscribe, man, get this content out, man. Love doing this with you guys, and let's get started.
So I want to start the show with talking about the trade deadline and the moves that were made and the lack thereof. You know what I mean? So it's no secret what the Philadelphia Eagles have been able to do by picking up Kevin Byard. You guys are familiar with him. The league is familiar with him, former All-Pro.
And I do agree with this one because I am on the fence right now saying, and I think a lot of sports fans agree with me, at least logical ones anyway. I'm kidding, right? If you don't agree. But I think that the Philadelphia Eagles won the trade deadline. When you look at what other teams did, the 49ers, they added Chase Young. Yeah, okay, that's nice. But the problem isn't the 49ers defense. It's Brock Purdy turning the damn ball over. That's the problem. Other than a few play calls with the San Francisco defense, Chase Young, what we've been saying about Chase Young prior to him getting injured is he a bust? Okay, he's had a few good games, but I don't think that sample size should be enough to say that the San Francisco 49ers won the trade. The Montez Sweat to the Chicago Bears, I hate that for him. He's getting paid millions of dollars, but who wants to go to a rebuilding team? Montez Sweat is not a young dude. Rasul Douglas to the Buffalo Bills. Again, I feel like the problem with the Bills is turnovers by the quarterback. If Josh Allen plays better, obviously you have to deal with some injuries in the secondary. And Rasul Douglas is good, just depending on where you put him. But it's not as big as Kevin Byard to the Philadelphia Eagles. When you talk about an Eagles team that was struggling in the secondary, quarterbacks like Sam Howell throwing 350-plus yards on you, that's something that you need to tighten up. And I feel like, the last time that we went to Super Bowl in 2017, it was all about good trades. But I'm not going to make this a drawn-out explanation. I'm just going to say that the Eagles have won trade deadline, and I agree. Let's continue.
Pro, you know what I mean? Just a guy that can come in and change the culture on the defensive side of the ball. He's been known to do that. Great respect for this guy. So we know about our moves. So with the lack of moves that you guys made, were you disappointed? How did you take that whole trade deadline scenario?
Well, everybody, man, y'all gotta be disappointed in that. You didn't make any moves, and Jerry talking about, man.
I just tap there from the CFT side. I appreciate y'all. Y'all know I always say hit that like button. Let people know we live. I already knew what was going on. If you pay attention to my channel, I said about 4 days before the trade deadline, I said ain't no help coming. No one's coming to save us because I know how Jerry Jones and them get down. Now he did say that. If you watch Cowboys Fan Talk again, shout out to Cowboys Fan Talk. He's one of the more logical content creators when it comes to the Cowboys fan base. Because when you look at a lot of big name Cowboys fans, it's always very emotional bias, which is okay because you want to have as much emotional bias for your team as possible. That's what makes you a fan, right? But again, I agree that Cowboys Fan Talk was one of the ones that brought this up, that they knew they weren't going to get any help. Out of myself and be like, well, maybe they're going to do something. But I knew. That's why I made a whole video saying no help is coming. You go watch it if you was wondering. And I was just saying, look, unless something really changed, I just don't see it. The Jones family is just tied to them picks. And they had already given, this is the bad thing, they had already traded some of our lower picks. They're not about to trade the entire draft. They ain't got the stones or whatever you want to call it. It ain't in them. So I don't care. I know the move that the Cowboys fans wanted was never happening. So let me just say that to you.
Now, before Lord Brunson gets to his point, I want to just say that Jerry Jones and a lot of the Cowboys fans were saying that Stephon Gilmore was the move and Brandon Cooks was the move. Now, if we're just going by that logic, then okay, maybe we have an argument there. Brandon Cooks, 1,000-yard receiver with pretty much every team he's been on. Stephon Gilmore, a defensive player of the year a while back as a defensive back, mind you. So the Cowboys did make moves early on the season, but it technically is before the trade deadline. But when you disappoint your fans like that, that really doesn't. When they were expecting you to do something, most teams would at least be like, okay, we tried. They could have been like the New York Giants, who said they made a trade, but they didn't get their paperwork in on time. If Cowboys would have said something like that, I think the fan base would have felt better. But when you look at it overall since the beginning of the season, I mean, Cowboys fans really, I don't know, maybe they don't have much to be disappointed about if they feel like they're set at a lot of positions.
My bad, I mean to cut you off. So what were some of the top moves? What were some of the top moves that you were saying from your side?
Devontae Adams was not coming here. Aaron Donald was not coming here. The main move that people were saying was maybe we can get Derrick Henry. But they took or Jalen Johnson. That was the other one that was floating around. Derrick Henry got taken off the market. The Titans was just probably like, they don't like that. People probably was lowballing.
Right.
They're like, we're not giving you Derrick Henry for a 6th or something crazy.
Oh yeah. And that's one thing the Titans didn't fuck up on. Like, they're not giving away Derrick Henry for a 6th. That's smart. But because for what you gave up for AJ Brown, for what you gave up for Julio Jones, you're giving up a consistent and perennial Pro Bowl running back, giving you as much production as possible with the miles he has in his body, and you're going to give him away for a 6th. So like, that's really good on the Titans. So
they released a statement, we're not trading. So then the attention shifted to, can we get Jalen Johnson and just shore up our cornerback depth? Because we got starters right now, but we just want to make sure, you know what I'm saying? We can go ahead and get that. But as you can see, nobody traded for Jalen Johnson because I think the Bears had his
my main concern for Tony Pollard coming into the season was if he could be an every down back. You know what I mean?
And I don't think that he can be a every down back. I mean, you gotta consider his build. Like, how big is Tony Pollard? Like, pause on that. Actually, pause on it. I want to know how big Tony Pollard is. I just, he seemed like he about 5'10" or something, man. Oh, hold on, let me see. Tony Pollard is okay. He is oh shit. Okay, so he's exactly 6 foot 209. So he's not a little guy, but for him to be like, I see Tony Pollard as more of an Austin Eckler kind of player. I don't see him as like a Derrick Henry or Marshawn Lynch, or let's name other back. I mean, he's not an every down back like that. He's what you call an all-purpose back. Like, you got to get him involved in the run game and the pass game. You can't just run with him, because his body's not built for that. But let's continue.
But the Dallas Cowboys that worry me the most is an Ezekiel Elliott-led Dallas Cowboys team. You know what I mean? When you guys can be,
you've been seeing me, I'm busy.
bro, I wanted Zeke. I was vocal about it.
Your fans was mad at you. I remember them days. I was weak.
Man, right? But it's like, I know better. And clearly, you know what I mean. I can understand now why we didn't go after Zeke, because look what we're doing with Rashad Penny. You're not even really giving him the carries. Bro, he'll be dangerous. He'll be dangerous over there. My man ain't getting no work yet.
Bro, and it is super weird how the Eagles just don't want to use Rashad Penny for just whatever reason. We don't ever use Rashad Penny in a lot of our games. If we had, especially against the Rams, man, we could have had like a bruiser back, just wear these guys down to open up the pass, bro. They just, I don't know, but maybe the Eagles are just not playing all their cards. Who knows, right?
The season, and I feel like a game like this against the Dallas Cowboys would have been perfect to bring him out. I don't know if he was there for trade bait or not, but the trade deadline is over, so I would definitely like to see some Rashad Penny.
This ain't the week for no matter, even if he was hitting his stride, man. This ain't the week for, I'm just keep it real. This ain't TP's week. This TP's week on a swing pass or a screen or being creative with him. This ain't the A&B gap week. I ain't going to go ahead.
And that's real. We really have been. I think we lead the league in run defense.
Nah, y'all know, man. Let me say
nobody runs the balls.
I said this to Mike last night.
Facts. It is very hard to run on the Philadelphia Eagles defense. I mean, it's been like that for a while, just because we focus so much on the defensive line, because that's where you win Super Bowls, is in the trenches. So,
man, Jordan Davis has been balling, man. I already know what Jalen Carter is, but I was one of the people talking spicy on Jordan Davis. Mm-hmm. As you can see, like, on Twitter, we go back and forth. If you pay attention, I never say stuff I don't mean. You ain't see me clowning Jordan Davis this year. I'm like, well, he balled.
Yeah. You know what I mean? He hit that second. Usually it's a brick wall in the second year. He seems to be elevating his game in the second year. And that's what most. Yeah, he's playing. For my knowledge, he's playing. I think the only guys we missed, I just looked at the injury report too. I think we're missing Cam Jurgens, but you know what I mean? I'm okay with that though, because Tyler Steen has been playing phenomenal at the right guard position. You know what I mean? I'm okay with seeing more Tyler Steen. You know what I mean? One of our draft picks from this year's class.
I know him.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Tyler Steen, I'm okay with that, but I do want Cam Jurgens back out there. I think you need your best offensive line with the type of pressure that you guys present. You know what I mean? Diddy Ozula. excuse me if I'm saying his name wrong.
Call him Osa, dog. That make it easier.
Osa surprising me this year, bro. You talking about Jordan Davis?
He's stepping up.
Right, you talking about Jordan Davis. I think Osa has solidified himself as one of the better defensive tackles in the division for sure. But you know what I mean? I think he's putting the league on notice as well.
I think Osa.
Yes, and I will agree with that. The Cowboys do have a very solid defensive line. Like, when I think of the NFC East, I think of how good our defensive lines have been ever since the early 2000s. We think of early Cowboys and Eagles dynasties. With Greg Ellis, and on the Eagles, you had goddamn Reggie White in the 90s. You had Trent Cole. You had dudes like Hugh Douglas. Like, we can name it on the Giants. Michael Strahan. Man, and then the Washington Redskins. Like, you got a pain now, man. It's just like the NFC East has always been known for having solid defensive line play. And just to name a few names, like, we could go all day with naming different players that we know from back in the day, but that would just elongate the time of this video, and the time is money, right?
He took the traditional route, man. Everybody can't be Jalen Carter.
Right.
Jalen Carter hit the ground running like, I'm already a vet. Now, they say D tackles take 1 to 2, maybe 3 years when they hit their stride, and that's what I think. That's the track since everybody probably want to know. What's up with Mozzie? I think Mozzie gonna be on that type of train because he's not starting right now. He's rotating.
So in hindsight,
I remember a lot of Cowboys fans were saying Mozzie was better than Jalen Carter. Where's that at now?
Like, would you go in another direction in the draft if you know it's going to take Mozzie this long? But you're trying to win now. You know what I mean? Let me lay the whole question out before you give a good answer. You know what I mean? So you guys are trying to win now. You look at your needs. Now, if Mozzie hits, nobody can even say this question. But being as though it's taking them a little longer, would you have rather see the Cowboys go in a different direction and take an impact player that'll give you something right now? Or are you okay waiting for Mozzie to develop?
Bro, I would take a receiver. I'm gonna keep it real with you. And that's not a slight to
Facts. I don't know why the Cowboys just didn't think of getting a wide receiver when you let go a premier talent like Amari Cooper. You knew Michael Gallup was coming off a horrific injury that takes a year to recover from, especially when you get back. Like you're not the same till next season. You know what I'm saying? Don't think that everybody can just all of a sudden do what Aaron Rodgers is doing, and even that's unproven, right? But the Cowboys had a chance to get a wide receiver in that draft. They didn't do it. And if they did, it wasn't a very good one. Again, you have Michael Gallup coming off injury. CeeDee Lamb is a finesse receiver who doesn't get enough targets, in my opinion. You know, and then the slot receiver. I mean, you're like pretty much relying on guys like Shoemaker and Ferguson, who are solid pieces, bro. Like they remind me of Stolen Calcaterra for the Eagles. But I agree with that. They like not picking up receiver was, drafting a receiver. I don't know.
To Cooks, obviously not like the CD. You know what I'm saying? Now, it ain't just like the Tolbert. They just won't put him on the field. The Cowboys are tied to draft position.
Like I said, Jalen Tolbert was not a good pick. But it's good that you do have CeeDee Lamb and Brandon Cooks. I mean, now how well that's been is still left to be determined, you know. But I don't know, man. Like I feel like you need 3 receivers to be a good team. But that's just me.
And maybe if we took a higher draft receiver, he could have started field something. You know what I'm saying? The Cowboys is so traditional and like you got drafted higher, we paid you, you gonna play. That's why Tolbert can't get on the field, but he's better than Gallup right now.
Right.
That's just real. But like I know people want to say, well, would you have took I would have took Nolan Smith in the
Tolbert better than Gallup? Wow. I didn't think Fan Talk would say that, but I mean I can see why right now, just because Gallup, again, he's coming off a terrible injury that takes over a year to recover from. So maybe he's right. Maybe he has a point. What y'all think?
the draft. But I'm gonna be real with you right now. Nolan Smith has been doing what he's doing for your team. He's not starting over D-Law. He's one of the highest rated defensive ends in the league. And you know he ain't starting over Micah. So he's rotating.
But you know, this is what y'all have always done that I admire. Y'all throw y'all rookies in the fire. You know what I'm saying? Y'all throw them out there. You know what I'm saying? Y'all listen, y'all spend the first round pick on him, y'all would have found time to put him out there. You know what I mean? That's the point that I'm trying to make. He got more playing time with y'all than he's getting with us.
The guy is right, not talking about. He is like balling wise. The reason why Mozzie can't get on the field is not because they just being mean. Hankins been balling like his position is one tech. He's handling his business. Our run stops versus running backs. We stop running backs the same way y'all is 3.6 yards a carry. Our problem is running quarterbacks.
Okay.
That's why I ain't mad at Jalen wearing that knee brace, but we'll get it.
No, we definitely got to talk about that. I'm not mad at it either, but we definitely gonna talk about that.
We'll talk about
so you would have went wide receiver. That's interesting because you might have been right. You might be on something with that because at the end of the day, I feel like that just need a few more weapons. You know what I mean? Once guys,
I wanted George Pickens the year before, but nobody was trying to listen to me.
Right. Because like as soon as teams start to zone in on CD, which I think we'll try our best to do, but CD does get off on a lot of NFC East opponents. But as soon as guys start to zone in on CD Lamb, it's like where else does Dak Prescott live?
And I've been saying this, man, which is why, man, because you can't expect Brandon Cooks to just get acclimated to their offense in just a short amount of time. That's not going to happen. Like as great a receiver as he has been, like if you even talk to wide receivers, if you like Brandon Marshall, who's always said that it takes a year to really like get right within a system to where like you're just nowhere to go at all times. You're not hesitating on the route. You're not doing a whole lot of things that, you know, are the formula to not being a cohesive offense. And right now, I agree with what they're saying. If you don't have CeeDee Lamb as your first read, and you know that Brandon Cooks, at some point he may be running the wrong route, like he may not know the plays entirely, so like they can't really scheme routes to get him open like that. Where's he going to go to? Shoemaker, Ferguson, who I've said in videos that I like, he's solid, but that's not enough to beat the Philadelphia Eagles, and that's what I don't know, y'all. Let's keep going.
Literally have to go to the ball for somebody to say that this guy's going to make me a play 9 times out of 10.
I think this the last 2 weeks because you yourself, you know, I listen to what you be saying. You are what have you done for me lately type person.
In most cases.
So looking at the way the season is going, players and teams evolve. Your passing game in the beginning of the year and what it is now is different. Our offense, whatever we said in the offseason, whatever Mike McCarthy lied to y'all about, our offense is completely different. That's one of the things I feel like we got.
Nobody said that y'all's offense was going to be the same after y'all let go of Kellen Moore, which I still think is a stupid idea. But everybody knew the Cowboys' offense was going to change. Come on, man. Like, I don't know where that talking point is coming from.
Advantage on over y'all is because this ain't the Kellen Moore offense at all. It's completely different. We're not running 5-yard stop routes like we used to and them stupid option routes and all that extra stuff. We run a lot more mesh concepts, crossing routes. We implemented a lot of motion in the last 2 weeks. It's a different Cowboy offense. So what and just like your defense right now, what we might have been used to seeing last year with Gannon, Desai is running different type of concepts. But it does take, you got to give teams, like I said, like I've been saying, like a while to evolve. If Dak been running that Kellen Moore offense for like 5 years, the first couple of weeks it just wasn't clicking in stride. That's why they was being so conservative. I think he was processing differently. But after we got that bye week and played the Chargers, we played the Chargers, then we had the bye week. But after we played the Chargers, I really feel like he's processing a lot better as far as what we're trying to accomplish with this.
I will say that, like, it's very possible that Dak is getting more comfortable within the offense as the weeks go on. Because, you know, like a lot of teams started rusty in the first couple weeks, and they're probably picking up steam, and the Cowboys came off a bye week. So, I mean, that's a fair point.
His offense, because I've seen him throw it down the field differently. Because you look at the Rams, although they don't got a lot of big names, they only giving up 4 passing touchdowns all year.
That was crazy when I saw it. I didn't know that. Because all you can hear about is Puka this, Puka that, Puka this, Puka that, and y'all really definitely shut the Rams down. You know, and we held the Rams scoreless in the second half of our game as well. So you think, so basically your thoughts on it is that you think Dak just took a little while to grasp the concept of the playbook.
Yeah, no question. I'm not saying that he about to look. I'm not even here to try to be unrealistic. I'm not saying, all right, we about to 30 points a game. I'm not saying we not, because right now the craziest thing ever is if you look at total team offense, that includes field goals and stuff like that. We second. We putting points up. It just might not be what everybody want to see. They don't want to see Brandon Aubrey getting off, but I take points when you can get them. I think our offense has been evolving. The biggest problem with our offense is our running game right now.
Bingo. That's what a lot of us have been saying. When you got rid of Ezekiel Elliott, like you took that diversity out of the run game, because now you're going to force Tony Pollard to be something he's not. Like the other guy that y'all have. I mean, y'all don't really use him a lot. I'm surprised y'all don't have him more than offense. To take some carries off Tony Pollard, who y'all are. I don't know. I don't follow the Cowboys that much, but I've been watching the Cowboys for a long time, and I know the Cowboys' bread and butter is that run game.
That ain't.
So you don't think it's the red zone? I thought you were going to say red zone.
Not because I think the red zone coming into his own the last couple weeks.
Okay,
you gotta have like a week where you go 6 for 6 to climb back up. You know what I'm saying? Last week was
right.
2 for 2 in the red zone is a pretty good decent day. You know what I'm saying? That was last week. So I'm just more so concerned with how the chemistry is looking. To see Brandon Cooks actually get involved, receivers to check out. He ain't never gonna throw me the ball. I'm done. You feel me? I see Brandon Cooks get a little go route. I see him get a crossing pattern, and I like the crossing pattern because from studying y'all, that ain't gonna bunch concepts, motion, and crossing patterns is y'all problem.
But no, everybody.
And I can agree with that. Like if you throw something like complex at this secondary, because again you got Reed Blankenship, who no matter how good he is, he's still a young safety. And Kevin Byard in that first game against the Commanders got thrown into the fire there. I mean, you can't really blame the secondary for the grades they got. Like, because again, you're dealing with a very creative offense with very complex concepts from Eric Bieniemy, and now you're coming to play Dallas against Mike McCarthy. But is Mike McCarthy's play calling as creative as Eric Bieniemy to throw our secondary off like that? Because again, this is the first game in this new Cowboys offense.
Everybody says that until a team that specializes in that steps across the opposite side of the ball from us. So everybody thought bunch concepts was going to kill us against the Rams. We didn't allow a single point to those guys in the second half. Everybody thought the crossing route was going to kill us against the Dolphins. We shut all of that down. I feel like, this is a real problem that I got with my Philadelphia Eagles right now. And shout out to y'all, man. 819 people in the building, man. They got to spend y'all Friday night with us, man. You know what I mean? This is a real problem that I have with my Philadelphia Eagles right now. We get up to play. You know what I'm saying? We kind of coast when it's guys. We don't play down to the competition, but we make things more difficult than they have to be. You know what I'm saying? We get up to play the.
And again, a lot of teams do this for just whatever reason. I want to go with the conspiracy that the Eagles are just not showing all their cards right now. They're waiting until late November, December, January football to really start just turning it up and to start making that run. You know what I mean? I want to say that's it. I want to say it, and I'm going to go with it. Tell me what y'all think in the comments, though.
Dallas Cowboys. We get up to play the Miami Dolphins because that's real competition. You know what I mean? It's bragging rights that's attached to that. So, what you think is you guys' advantage if you guys running a different offense is definitely our advantage, I feel like, as well, because that Kellen Moore offense, that's what y'all talk about. We all talk about 8-3. That's what was cooking us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it had faults to it.
It did, but not against us. For some reason, we
just saying, Kellen Moore's the biggest problem with the Kellen Moore offense.
I would agree with that. If we were to play the Chargers with Shane Steichen, I think this defense would have fits. With any kind of offensive coordinator that's really creative, they have a really good time against the Philadelphia Eagles. It's so crazy. The Jets didn't have that really good time against us because their offensive coordinator is not really like that, and they don't have Aaron Rodgers. So, but it's still a problem why we couldn't get Zach Wilson to the ground. What other team did we play? The Patriots. No, they don't really have a creative offense like that. So again, like Rome said, I'm sorry, Cowboys fan talk, but his name's Rome. But he has a point. Creative concepts get this Philadelphia secondary. But I digress. Let's move on.
Once you realize, if you ever watch him in press conferences, his main thing used to stick on is take what the defense is giving you.
Right.
That sounds like real great. But once the defense realizes, they're running option routes, and every time I open my hips and back pedal this way, he run the same stop no matter what he's programmed to. Well, I'm going to start to disguise the defense. That's why, those plays we used to complain and say, why are we running 4 curls? It wasn't called 4 curls.
So those are 4 option routes.
It was 4 option routes. They wanted to make us run the route they wanted them to. And then, like Fred wanted them, would just open up, and as soon as we all did the stops, all you got to do is break on the ball.
But in the same breath, a really good offense struggles against a really good defense. Example A, Cowboys offense versus that San Francisco defense. That vaunted San Francisco defense. That's not the problem right now, but I digress.
Because that's the textbook answer for an option route. When they open up, then you run the curl in most cases. So
it sounds dope, but you gotta have a route technician. It was all great when it was not Lamb. Sorry, when it was Amari,
right?
Because he's just different with routes, so he can fool you. He's genuine. But you talk about Noah Brown and T.Y. Hilton, come on, dog. No disrespect to T.Y. He was in his late mid 30s, so there's no disrespect to him. He's just older, and Noah Brown is Noah Brown. So we just wasn't. It wasn't what it looked like versus a Commanders team or something like that. Yeah, you probably get off. But when you playing a smart defense like the 49ers, you end up with that. So I'm happy to see that gone. I'm happy to see us doing different offensive. I'm sure there's some option routes sprinkling in there. I ain't in a meeting room. I'm just saying it ain't the primary thing that we run anymore.
Right.
That's good to make some change because it gets stale. You know what I'm saying? You run the same thing for 4 years. Yeah, the quarterback comfortable with it, but is the defense going to get? Do they have any fear? You know what I'm saying? So I'm
Yeah,
just
no, yeah, I feel you. Once you kind of know what's coming, it definitely makes for a better game plan on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah.
So, you speak about you guys' offense evolving with the change of offensive coordinator. I'm going to talk about how I feel like the Philadelphia Eagles offense has evolved as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, this season. I really feel like, I think the knee brace is helping Jalen Hurts, if you want me to be honest.
So Mike was saying that last night.
Oh, yeah, he did. I felt like 15 minutes ago, I'm like, man, these boys was going in. But you know what I mean? I feel like the knee brace is helping. This is the first time in his career we scored for 250 passing yards in 6 straight games. Now,
that is an amazing feat. I'm not even going to lie to you. What Jalen Hurts is doing, not really being able to run like he usually does and having to just rely more on his pocket skill, it's really starting to show, man. Like the man plays really, really well in the pocket. Like he's like progressing to me faster than I think Lamar Jackson. But the difference with Lamar Jackson, he doesn't have the wide receiver. So that's a factor that we probably should not leave out. But what Jalen Hurts is doing, and what is supposedly not his 100% right now, it's MVP for real.
Now, granted, in those same 6 straight games, you got an absolute monster in AJ Brown getting a buck 25 every game as well.
Let me tell
you know what I mean?
Your fans, like I told Mike's fans last night, say price overlap. Listen, I can't take nothing from the dude. You know what I'm saying? I know we go back and forth. Now I'll say this, I said this yesterday. I'm still taking CeeDee Lamb. So everybody get that clear.
Wow.
And we don't have a problem with that. It's just when you try to make it a real thing when it's not. Players know that AJ Brown is better than CeeDee Lamb. Like, who was higher in the NFL top 100 last year? Y'all let me know.
Boy, I want to know why. I want to know why.
Because CeeDee Lamb just ain't been getting the targets that AJ Brown been getting.
Well, historically, though, CeeDee Lamb.
I stated that earlier in the video. I can admit that.
He still might not be doing what AJ was doing, but it wouldn't be that far off. Like if CeeDee Lamb was getting targets, he probably get like 105. I can't say he get 125. But CeeDee Lamb was last week he got the targets. He left the game 179 yards, 158 through the air, and 20 on the ground. You know what I'm saying? So I know CeeDee Lamb is capable with the talent, but our stubborn self sometimes don't like. It's not that y'all be spamming AJ. I know that's a new term everybody like to use. Is that he really been that dominant?
Somebody said that CeeDee Lamb is a better route runner. That actually might be a good argument because AJ Brown is just known for his size and his speed, but he's a good route runner. He can run every route tree, but it's just like who's better at a route run in that regard? Y'all let me know what y'all think, but obviously I think it's AJ Brown. But that's a good question, point of debate, if you will.
Mm-hmm. And why not keep going to it? I would go to it too. Right. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even hating on that. And I'm not doing it. You know, people like, he just still closing his eyes and throwing it to AJ. Nah, AJ Brown is balling and Jalen's getting it to him. Because it was that easy, the Titans would have traded him. They just kept him.
They kept him and they just threw the ball to him because obviously he can do whatever he wants.
It ain't that simple. It is it's Hurts and AJ Brown.
Right. It definitely takes two to tango. People got to understand that what you're watching on the field between AJ Brown and Jalen Hurts is weeks and weeks and weeks and months, years now. Years of practice and years of getting to know your wide receiver as a quarterback. That's how you get the results that you're seeing on Monday. You know what I mean?
Facts. Because when AJ Brown first got here and what he is now, no.
Let me give Dak and him a little bit of flowers though, because his completion percentage to CeeDee Lamb is like 89%. It's crazy. So if they just would get their mind right and realize, yo, I got a weapon. It's my weapon. It ain't got to be AJ. But you got to use your weapons. You can't be getting in your head like, all right, I'm gonna go to Schoonmaker a couple times. No,
I think it's easy. I think it's easier for us though, because you could literally double CeeDee Lamb and make that go somewhere else. You really can't do that for AJ Brown because it's a lot of weapons. Right? You know what I mean? It's a lot of weapons on our side of the ball. You know what I mean?
I do that because you got to account for Goddard.
And I agree with that for sure. But it's okay. We have a better wide receiver for the Cowboys. Like everybody knows that. We have a better offensive line than the Dallas Cowboys. Everybody knows that. We have a better defensive line than the Dallas Cowboys. Everybody knows that. You know who else knows that? Michael Parsons knows that.
You got to account for Smith. Obviously, it's different. Now, I will say this, though, and I've been wanting to ask you this.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Check it out. On Sunday, I heard you after.
Listen, I heard what you about to say. You about to talk about something on broil. I know what you about to say.
So you said Bradbury was light garlic bread on broil. And the thing that made me smile is, I know.
And you know what's crazy? Someone had posted in the comments that Bradbury and Slay are like ranked 100th plus overall at cornerback per PFF. That is concerning. But again, if you're shutting teams down in the second half, like where do we rank in that? Because we do give up a lot of yards. I will say that. So I'm not really mad at that. But I feel like when it comes down to it, Slay and Bradbury gonna get it done for us.
Bradbury, he is not a press corner like that. He's a zone corner, and y'all want him to press. And I'm telling you right now,
I agree. That's why I'm also a little mad at Gannon because you had that man on press on Juju Smith-Schuster when you could have let Juju Smith-Schuster just catch it and like do other bullshit. But you let the man. I mean, whatever. I don't know. Calling the holding call, man. But I'm not gonna talk about the Super Bowl, man. Whatever, man.
Y'all can bracket CD, but if y'all let Bradbury try to run with Cooks might not be able to do a lot. As far as like, well, this route tree pretty decent, but I'm just saying, don't do it. I saw it last week. I said, oh, Cooks still got that speed. I'm letting you know right now.
Bro, I don't even want Bradbury on Cooks.
Well,
I don't want Bradbury on Cooks. I feel like I would put Bradbury on CD's side and I would bracket that side.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? If Slay got to run with Cooks,
you travel? You think our offense ain't good?
Not, man. Slay not going to travel. That's just what I would do. Knowing the Philadelphia Eagles, we go out there with Eli Ricks on Cooks. And I don't know how that's going to.
I can't handle. I've been seeing the ball a little bit, so I can't handle. I don't on Eli to hate.
That's what I'm saying.
I'll take it. Put a rookie on. I'll take it.
I mean, Eli Ricks. I mean, I liked him in those couple snaps against the Dolphins, and I'm not saying he's bad. Out of all cornerbacks, he did get the best grade. No, I'm lying. That was Blankenship and Byer who got the best grade. But I mean, he's a baller for a young cat. But I'm not. I mean, but the Cowboys. I mean, yeah. I mean, you can't put him on Brandon Cooks. You can't. Yeah. I mean, I hope we figure out a way around that for sure. Because you don't want rookies on no Brandon Cooks and no CeeDee Lamb. That's just asking for trouble.
It's the story. That's what I'm saying. It's a rookie on Brandon Cooks. That's the story of the unknown. I just don't want to go there. I feel like you brought Kevin Byard in around this time because of the schedule that you got right now. Let Kevin Byard roam and be over the top of some of these playmakers and make some plays for us. Look at the rest of our.
Tell me about how you feel about your secondary, and I'll tell you how I feel. Since we here already, tell me about
my secondary. All right, my secondary ain't been playing good. My 2 All-Pro corners, Darius Slay and James Bradbury, have not been playing good. You know what I mean? Slay just came out on this podcast and said it. You know what I mean? I've not been playing good. I know I got to do better. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day,
that's true, and that goes back to that ranking on PFF, man, where you're just like, damn, man, like y'all are kind of a concern. Like you get up yards to Sam Howell, you give up yards to goddamn Mac Jones. That is kind of concerning. You're going to a game against a guy who's 8-3. So, man, I hope my Eagles can get it together.
They both got interceptions this season. Slay got a pick 6. You know what I'm saying? This Slay got over
Bradbury.
You have to. I think Slay is overall a better corner. He got overall better technique. Right now, I just think Bradbury's just in a slump. Now, Bradbury ain't half as bad as what he's been displaying. You know, I still got faith in him.
I think so y'all using him. Stop putting him in the slot. But no, keep him in the slot.
No. Keep him on outside. See, Bradbury, in my opinion, Bradbury is worth his weight in gold in the red zone because he can tackle. You know what I'm saying? He got that length.
You keep it in front of him. That's his thing. You keep it in front of him. He reacts.
Right.
He's not. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's just say some people just play better in man. Like DeRon Bland. He's really good at man.
This is why Jalen Mills lasted so long. You know, this is why the Green Goblin with the Green. This is why he lasted so long.
Picture,
right. This is why he lasted so long because how good he was in the red zone. But I feel like, you know,
I do agree with that. Like when it comes to like the red zone, like, I can trust Bradbury just because of his size and his length. Big pause. And yeah, I mean, I agree with Rome, man. I do believe that oftentimes we do put Bradbury in awkward positions, you know, making him do things that are outside of his strengths, which is playing really good zone. But I'm hopeful that Sean Desai will put both our all-pro corners in good positions for this current game.
He's not playing their best ball for sure. You know, I mean, they're definitely not playing their best ball. I mean, you lose Avonte Maddox, you bring in Roby, so you still have that same issue there. Roby's hurt. You know, he played one game for us, but when he was in,
sometimes grabbing an older player, man, it's
right.
It's scary.
But when he end though, you see what happened. Dudes don't score for a whole second half.
Yeah. Remember we got Peters last year? We had him for like a series and went right back up.
Exactly, man. It's crazy. So I think Byard was the best move of free agency. I mean, not free agency, trade deadline. I think Byard was the best move, and I think that was a point of need for us.
Yeah,
man. I think it had.
Yes, I'll die on this hill that the Philadelphia Eagles won the trade deadline with Kevin Byard. We did.
Be Byard. I think so. It had to be Byard. Now moves were made. Now Chase Young is up there as well, going to San Fran.
I gotta see, because you know what though, because sometimes I'm I don't got no love for San Fran, but after they punished us on national TV, but
punished is an understatement.
Chase Young in Washington, it's like you got to do more. Chase Young in San Fran, it's like you just got to fit in, which could be dangerous. Because you know when you got to do more, you don't got Fred Warner behind you and Greenlaw and all these extra players. You feel like you got to make splash plays. But when you like, yo, you just can do your job and win because you got Bosa.
All you got to do is blend in.
So
all you got to do is blend in.
He's gonna look better by default because he got,
and that's not gonna be hard for an all-pro like Kevin Byard.
So much more people around him.
Right.
Like, he might have Hargrave next to him. Well, never mind. He did have excellent DTs in Washington. No disrespect.
Somebody brought up in the comments, Eagles pass defense ranked the same as 2017, 2018 Eagles and still. Yeah, we did. That's a very good point. Wow.
Yeah.
They might not be Hargrave, but they decent.
Yeah, and I think he was definitely showing, you know what I mean, why he was drafted so high this year. You know what I mean? That's why they got what they got.
They weren't giving him no bag. That's why
No. The Commanders, I can see the 49ers on a small bag. You got to think, though, he got to do something astronomical to be the highest paid guy. He don't have a track record. You could get him
making like quarterback money. He making like 34. So
that's what I'm saying. He's not getting that. You would get him for like somewhere equivalent to what Daniel Jones.
If they're paying quarterback, somebody got to go because you can't pay Hargrave, Bosa, whoever the other. Armstead. They got too many D linemen making $20 million.
Chase take 12. Chase would take 12 a year. He would take 12 a year to put the play.
That is very concerning for the 49ers, man. They have all those pieces that are, with high contracts.
What are you gonna say? He can't demand
that. He can't say nothing, right? Because he had the track record. Let's get to some of these super.
All right, y'all. This is gonna be part 1 of this video. It's like an hour 49-minute video. And I even put it on 25% speed. So we're gonna do part 2 tomorrow, and we're also gonna have some other content. Just stay tuned. Again, like, subscribe, get the content out, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.